before I will start, I'm gonna introduce. So I am Jo Marie Lasam, a technical support engineer of Huawei under the banner of WSI. No? So today I'm gonna discuss about the Huawei WLAN solution or the AirEngine Wi-Fi 6. So as you can see in this slide, no, so it's like a Airbus or an airplane. No? So we have the cockpit or the ONM or what we call the Operation and Management Solution. We have the iMaster NCE, and then below that we have the four main engines of the plane. We have the first of all the Air Engine WLAN that I will discuss, and then Cloud Engine switches, Net Engine routers, and high-sec network security firewalls. So for the Huawei WLAN solution or Air Engine Wi-Fi 6, we have content. So we have the three topics here. So first of all, what is our trends and challenges of enterprise digital services? Second is the Huawei Air Engine Wi-Fi 6 product overview. And then the third is cutting edge technologies of Huawei Air Engine Wi-Fi 6. So in this slide, no, so as you can see, just like I've said earlier, no, we have the iMaster. So what is iMaster? iMaster is a management platform. It's the control system for the autonomous driving network. You have there the planning, the network construction, the automation, and the policy all in the platform. And then also with the iMaster NCE, you have intelligent ONM or the operation management, just like I've said, where you can do the user experience visualization, where you can have the fault demarcation and the network optimization and self-healing. Then we have, of course, the bigger network. You need to have a switching infrastructure that can address all those speed issues and bandwidth needed for Wi-Fi 6. So that's the way you see that multi-GE switches is coming with high density of 25 GE fixed switches, and then we have the 100 GE for the core switches. All of them are available, and also with our technology in our switches, we can also terminate the Wi-Fi access points into and control the Wi-Fi access point into the switches as well. This is a very high-speed campus network. It can support all that speed from the Wi-Fi 6 access point, and then coming to the Wi-Fi 6 access point that where we have the ultra high fast Wi-Fi 6 access point that the highest access can give you 10 gigabits per second. We have also stable coverage and then smart antenna. The smart antenna gives you a 20% more coverage. We are using technologies like dynamic turbo, where you can have a 10 milliseconds or less than 10 millisecond latency instead of 20 milliseconds. So today, I'm gonna discuss this. This one's the AirEngine Wi-Fi 6, no? So as you can see, the standalone evolution for the Wi-Fi 6 or the mature industry chain, no? So first of all, what is yung mga nauna sa kanya, we have the Wi-Fi 4 and then Wi-Fi 5, no? So under the Wi-Fi 6, no, supported siya ng mga the Wi-Fi 6 supported for the iPhone 11 series, Huawei P40 series, Samsung 10 series, so on and so forth. So what is the Wi-Fi 6? No? So Wi-Fi 6 technologies, no? So marami siyang sinusupport na like 4K video conferencing and AR and VR scenarios. So we have the full series of the scenario for AirEngine Wi-Fi 680s now. So first of all, we have the flagship model now. What's the flagship model? This is the AirEngine 8760 X1 Pro. And then for the mid-range, we have the high-end models. Now we have the 807060 DN, and then AirEngine 7060 series, and 716061-21T. And for the economical model, we have the AirEngine 5760-10, and then AirEngine 5761-21 and 11. And then we have also the wall plate model. No, we have the AirEngine 5760-22W, and then the 5761 12W and 11W. No. So we have also the outdoor models natin. We have the AirEngine 8760R and then AirEngine 6760R. So we have also distributed, no? So we have the AirEngine 9700D and then 576121D and then the remote radio unit and the 5761WD. So in this wireless or the WAC, we have the 4 WAC controllers. No? So first of all, we have the AC 6800V and then 6805. And then for the entry level, we have the 6508 and then AirEngine for the 9700 -M1. So as you can see in below, there's a technical specs. No, so the max throughput of the, if we have the 60 gigabits per second for 6800V, and then the max number 8 is that it can hold is up to 10K. So sa users, it can also hold up to 100K. So for the 6805, we have the 120 gigabits per second, and then 6K for the APs, and then 64K for the users. And then for the entry level of the 6508, we have the 256 AP can hold, and then 4K for the users. And then for the AirEngine, we can 2K for the APs, and then 32K for the users. So let's go a deep dive about our flagship indoor Wi-Fi AirEngine 87 X1 Pro. No? So this is 4 by 2.4 and then 12 by 5 gigahertz. The standard is 8 by A Huawei. With something special, we added 4 more spatial streams into 5 gigahertz. Why? There is no restriction in this standard, so we can address more users or more bandwidth with these access points. We can have a dual PO either for active and standby. And for the platform, it can go into radio mode or triple radio mode. So we have also the micro air conducts plus the liquid cooling nose. So we can prevent the overheating in our 80s. So we have also used the Bluetooth. It supports Bluetooth 5.0, and then the power supply. It is also a PoE++. And then for the built-in IoT module or Internet of Things module, we have the Zigbee, RFID, asset management, and ESL. And for the security guys, we have the hardware encryption, IPsec, and DTLS WPA3. So we have the indoor high-end Wi-Fi 680. No, this is the 6760-X1, and then X1E. Keep in mind, guys, that when we talk about scanning radio, it is a dual band. So it is not that we're just doing 5 gigahertz or 2.4. We're doing 2.4 and 5 gigahertz when we do the scanning radio. So for this one, we have the basic mode that can 4 by 6 or 4 plus 6. And then the AP rate is up to 8.35 gigabits per second. So it also have a 2 spatial streams added 4 by 8, and then the second one is the SDR or software defined region. No? So before we use that, we need to activate the RTO mode. So for the built-in, it was also a built-in IoT module for Zigbee, RFID, as management, and ESL. Excuse me. So we have this one. This is the wall-plated scenario. If the client or if they have hotel scenario, dorm scenario, or small rooms, no, we can position this wall plate for Wi-Fi 6 or the 5760-20W. And then with the distributed solution, this is where you have an access point which looks like a switch. So even so wall plane, we have the Bluetooth 5.0, and then the AP rate is up to 4 gigabits per second, and 2 by 4 mode is equal to 0.57 gigabits per second. So for the antennas, all of our APIL is built in with the smart antenna. So later I'm going to show to you what is the built-in smart antenna, or what it looks like this smart antenna. So this one is the Agile distributed 5.6 solution. No? So sorry, the AirEngine, or we have the it's just like a switch, no. So basically, we have the smart antenna or the radio unit, no. So just simply to connect in the central AP, and then you can position it in the hotel rooms or in the small rooms, no. So it's a Agile distribution, a combo, and we have the central AP and then smart radio unit. As well as it's always the same lang naman sila. So ang pinagkaiba or the difference between of them is the uplink. For the first one of the 5760-20WD, it supports only 2.5 GE electrical, while the 5760-11WD is to uplink is up to 1 GE electrical only. So next one, we're gonna proceed about the outdoor Wi-Fi 6 or the AirEngine 8760R, and then X1E or X1 and then X1E. So as you can see, we have the 16 spatial streams, that's like the flagship model of the Huawei. Or we have the flexible switch over among the 3 modes. We have 8+8 or 4 by 12, and then 4+8 and independent interference scanning. No? So this is a very interesting platform. Also because we are using 8 by 8 on the 2.4, and this is very special because everyone else is doing 4 by 4. If you look at the internal access point, they all doing 4 by 4. If you look at the other vendors with outdoor access point, they are doing only 4 by 4 on 2.4. But here in Huawei, we are doing 8 by 8 on the 2.4, which means that we have a 40% wide coverage. We have also for the surge protection, we have the for this extreme eye environment, we have the IP rating for 68, IP68 rating. So as you can see, we have the waterproof, dustproof level, and then built-in surge protection. And then for the wild temperatures, we are from negative 40 degrees Celsius up to 65 degrees Celsius. So next one is the second model for the outdoor APs. So we have the AirEngine 67 R51. So also we have 4 by 4 on the 5 gigahertz, or 4 by 4 on the 2.4 gigahertz. We have 8 spatial stream also in total. Once again, on the port, a high amount of course diverse ports, and also it is also a IP68 surge protection as well. Moving forward, let's go to the economical model, which is the AirEngine 6121T. So this is the 6121T. It has of course once again triple radios. It can function as the new function as a leader AP, where the access point actually functions as the access controller for each other access points. If we are doing direct forwarding, it can give up to 24 access. When while tunnel forwarding, it can give you up to control up to 12 access point only. So for the for the as you can see here, for the IoT expansion, you have also the USB intended for external IoT, and then for the maximum rate that can offer this first in the 676121T is up to 6.57 gigabits per second. So next one, actually they're all the same, these three models. No, so it has also 6 streams as smart antenna and 2 by 4. Also, this one for the 5761-11, all of the streets is same, but the main comparison is about the speed. For the 57621 is it can give only 5.37 gigabits per second, and for the dash 11 it can give only 1.775 gigabits per second. So for the AirEngine, we have the wall mount again also, and then we have the wall mounted AP, the 576112W and 11W. It comes with the downlink port as well, uplink up to 1 GE. Downlink is for GE plus, and then we have the 2 by RJ45 pass through. It can also function also as a leader AP as well. So we have kind of scenarios of installing AP. No? So we have the ceiling mounted cable distribution box, and then wall mounted. No? It has also a plus D type, so anti-theft, secure, and reliable. So and also we have the unified mounting bracket, no? Simplifying to install lang naman. So adaptable 2 to 3 scenarios, and then 13 sub scenarios. So for the indoor settled AP installation mode and rules, we have 3. So first of all, we have the ceiling mounting. Second is the wall mounting. Then the last is the support mounting. No? So take note, guys. So when installing AP, it should be 6 meters, less than 6 meters AP. AP to prevent the for the optional direct antennas. So for the outdoor AP installation mode, we have the two. We have two installation type. We have the pole mounting and then the wall mounting for this outdoor installation. Okay, so next one, this newer engine, so ideal deployments lang. So as you can see, no. So for the 5760, we have the 6 transmit and then 6 receive, no. So capable siya, or it capable for the office or retail supermarket. And then AirEngine 5760, 22W and then 22WD. We have the 6 transmit and then 6 receive, no. Ideal for hotel dormitories. And for the AirEngine, we have the X1 or the X1E, ideal for large room, large hall, and then mga waiting rooms. And outdoors, we have the stadium and outdoor application as well. As well as the flagship, we have the AirEngine 87 X1 Pro. Ideal is to install it on the classroom meeting room with 4K conference or the factory or AGB or what we call the automated guided vehicles. So cutting edge technologies of the Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi 6 products. No? So just like I've said earlier sa Huawei smart antenna natin, we have this one is the idea for the smart antenna in the industry, we have more than 20% coverage than the other industry. So I'm gonna show to you the I have here is the smart antenna. Let me. Okay. So this one, as you can see, this the actual the smart antenna. Kita. This one is the smart antenna that embedded on our APs. Yeah. So it's like a MCO or embedded system in the our APs. So next one is the ultra bandwidth. No? So Huawei is offering at 10 gigabits per second and beyond because we have the unique 16 spatial stream fiber-like experience even though you are connecting to the wireless or Wi-Fi. So our AirEngine Wi-Fi 6 can offer up to 10.75 gigabits per second. And while in the other industry, they can only give up to 5.95 gigabits per second. And for the stable coverage, we have the smart antenna. Just like I've said, we offer 20% wider coverage, while in for the APs with 16 built-in smart antenna and use it for the 5G powered beamforming algorithm. So next one is the lossless roaming. No? So more stable roaming. So the best example is when you for the AP. Example, you are in this first floor, then when you go down to the ground floor, in just 10 milliseconds or less than 10 milliseconds, your STA or your endpoint device will connect it within in 10 milliseconds. No, to prevent a packet loss. Both these is the ROT Wi-Fi convergence, no, so physical, so reduce network construction. So sa as is, we have the campus network, no. So different networks are constructed for different services, such as Office, IoT, and other services like, let's say, warehouse, or let's say, town halls, no. So Huawei, now and to be, we have the cloud management platform with Internet of Things convenience, or the IoT AP, no, plus the Bluetooth. We have the RFID modules like Zigbee, no? So we have the ASL, asset, and then energy sensoring. So we can monitor the energy and then baby level for the hospital scenario. And then also the fluid level for the oil and gas company, and then smart wristband for the let's say schools and offices for student management. So for the more stable application, Smart Radio Dynamic Turbo VR with no frame freezing, no. So round trip time or RTT latency, Huawei is only 10 milliseconds, while in the industry is 20 milliseconds only.
Okay. Before we start, I'm John Nathaniel Arpareño, Technical Support Engineer here at WSI handling Huawei dito. So for today's presentation, I'll be more discussing about Huawei Campus Switch Cloud Engine series. So let's get started. For the content of my presentation, first I will be discussing about campus local area network trend. Next is Cloud Engine S series switch introduction, then to be followed by the highlight. So, in the Wi-Fi 6 era, we're embracing an all-new campus network. So, alam po naman po natin, Wi-Fi 6 offers the highest bandwidth in the industry. So, about 10.75 gigabits per second. Then, Wi-Fi 6 AP support many high bandwidth services such as in-office, HD conference, AR and VR, video surveillance, asset management, and access control. Because of this functionality, it brings new challenges in terms of our bare network. So how we can implement this properly in our switching network. So again, this is Huawei Cloud Campus solution. This is the full hierarchical architecture. So let me discuss it. For the top part, we have the industry that can use this type of solution, like in the office, public services, production, and workplaces. Next is our iMaster NCE. This is our all-in-one platform for management, control, and analyzer. For the very part, we have CloudEngine S-series switches, and discussed earlier is AirEngine Wi-Fi 6. Now let's proceed to the CloudEngine S-series switch introduction. So this is the full panoramic overview of the switches of Huawei. So CloudEngine S-series switches is used to build an high-quality campus network for Wi-Fi 6 era. So we have different types of model from the modular type or chassis type. Then for the switch, we have fixed switch type. CloudEngine S-series switch is Wi-Fi 6 ready, IoT ready, cloud ready, and quality ready. For the product positioning, we can use CloudEngine S12700 E-series as a core switch. For the aggregation switch, we have two types of switch. First is the modular switch or chassis type, which is CloudEngine S7700. Then for the fixed switch is CloudEngine 6730-H and -S. For the access switch, we have S5700 series switches. Now we go to the breakthrough of each model. First is CloudEngine S12700E. This is for the core switch model. Cloud CloudEngine S12700E has four models depending on the line cards available. First is S12704, this one. Next is 708 and 7012. CloudEngine S12700 has separate architecture for control plane and data plane. It has the redundancy design for key components providing the 99.99% reliability. So almost 5 minutes downtime in a year. Next is it offers ultra-large buffer and hierarchical quality of service scheduling. Next is it offers 4.8 terabits per slot, super forwarding, capable for Wi-Fi 6 high-speed channel. Next is for the line card available, we have CloudEngine MPU and SFU. For the MPUE, we can think of it as a processor of the switch. For the MPUE, it can be used to 12712 series. So it integrates hardware-based OEM and VFD. It can manage up to 10K APs and 50,000 concurrent user. Next is MPU EC for 12704 in 8. It can manage up to 4K APs and 15 concurrent user. For the control plane, for the data plane, we have SFU, which is our forwarding unit. For the dash 4 and 8, we offer 3.2 terabits per second. For the dash 12, we have 4.8 terabits per second. For the line card available, S12700 series offers ports up to 100 GE speed, then 2 G electrical ports. First is X6E offers 24 ports per 100 GE. Then X6ES offers 100 GE ports. Then XCE offers 2 per 100 GE ports. Then another is 40 GE. It can offer up to 4 for X6E. Then X6E is 12. Now let's proceed for 10G optical ports. It can be used for transceivers. Then for X6E offers 100G optical ports, 48 ports po. Then X6ES offers 24. Now we go to the power supply. So S12700 offer redundancy mode. For the 12700-4, it has 4 power supply slots, so N plus 1 or N plus N redundancy mode. Then for dash 8 and dash 12 model, we have 6 power supply slots. So we have AC power supply, which is 3,000 watts, then 2,200 watts. For the DC, S12700 support 2,200 watts DC power supply. Now we go to the another model, which is S7700 intelligent routing switch. So this model has 3 variants. First is 7703, 706, and 712. So it offers leadership in integrated wireless access controller as you can manage 4K APs. It also have redundant design to provide 99.99% reliability, and it offers PoE++ or 90 watts power for 288 ports. For the MCU, again, this can be, think of it as a processor of the switch. We have MCUD can manage up to 1024 APs. Then next is SRU or service routing unit natin for as bidirectional bandwidth of 720 gigabytes per second for 7706, then 720 for 712. For the line card available, uh, we have 100 GE ports, 100 GE ports for X6E, then 40 GE ports for X6ES, then X6ES na variant for 48 ports na 100 G optical ports. Then for the PoE, we have GE electrical ports that can offer PoE power supply. 48 ports po siya for X6E, then X65 is 48 ports din. For the power supply, S700 also have redundancy. So for the 703, we have 3 power supply modules applicable. Then for 6 and 12 models, we have 5 to 8 PoE modules available. For the AC, we have 3,000 watts and 2,200 watts AC power supply. Then for DC is 2,200 watts. Next model is CloudEngine S6730 series product overview. We have here is CloudEngine X730-H with our high-end model. It offers 10 GE. Then next is Dash S, which is our standard model. Then another one is our high-end model providing 25 GE. So this is the physical overview of each switch. First is our full function 25 GE routing switch. Next is our 6730-H 25 GE. It has 28 ports for 25 GE optical ports and 4 ports for 40 GE and 100 GE ports. Next, our 10 GE routing switch. Then for the S6730 10 GE, we have 24 or 48 models applicable for 10 G optical ports and 6 ports for 40 GE and 100 GE optical ports. So for our CloudEngine S6730 supports SVF, VXLAN, IPCA, ECA, NetStream, MPLS, telemetry, and cloud management, and iStack functionality. Next is our standard model. We have next generation 100 GE switch. Offers 24 times 10 GE optical ports. For the power modules for CloudEngine S6730 series switch, we have 300 watts AC, 260 watts DC, 600 watts AC, 1000 watts DC. All of them is applicable for redundant application. Next, for our access switch, we have CloudEngine S5730. We have different models. So each breakthrough first, for the main features for CloudEngine S5730 series switches, it offers native wireless access controller for our high-end model. It supports MPLS for high-end model, VXLAN, free mobility, and other routing and switching protocol. For our first model of 5700, we have 5732-H, our full optical switch. This switch as hybrid optical electrical switch, so can be used to provide an PoE and data for Wi-Fi 6. So as you can see here, when we use category 5 cable, it has the limitation of 100 meters, and Cat 6E cable has limitation of 100 meters. So using the Huawei's hybrid optical electrical cable, you can have a maximum transmission distance up to 300 meters and has the rate of 1G or 10G depending on the configuration of the switch. So next is 5731-H intelligent GE switch. The next is our standard GE access switch. This is the physical overview of the switch. Next part, we go to the 5731-S GE access switch. So optical model siya with 420 millimeter depth. Next is S5736-S, then our standard switch. And now we go to our next generation video backhaul switch, which is S5735-S. So it has a high reliability with the operating temperature from -40 Celsius to +75 Celsius. It also has an IP55 rating, anti-salt spray, and 6 kilowatt surge protection. Product appearance, we have here the S5735-S. Next, our extended temperature switch. So our switches offers extended temperature design from -40 to +70 degrees Celsius, strong adapting to harsh outdoors temperature. So it has an industrial grade lighting protection up to 10 kilovolts lighting protection for service ports and 6 kilovolts lighting protection for power supply. It has a non-blocking forwarding architecture, the intelligent O&M. Now let's proceed to the CloudEngine S-Series switch highlight. So for the highlight, we'll talk about the network automation, high reliability, and service enhancement. And last is security. So again, our switches supports VXLAN functionality. So in physical topology, we can see it as a one network architecture. In logical topology, we can use virtualization functionality. So we have there is Office Virtual Network for offices, virtual network for video conferencing, and virtual network for security protection. Next is VXLAN aggregation. So does our switch supports third-party switch? Yes po. So as you can see here, as we implement in our border and aggregation layer, we can use Huawei switch. Then for the access layer, we can use different type of switch or different vendor. For the access part, in the core and access layer, we can use Wi-Fi switch. Then for the aggregation, we can use third-party switches. Next is iStack technology. So as physical topology, you can see is we have three switches. We can turn it into one switch using iStack technology. So again, with iStack, 9 switches become one switch. So for the example here, CloudEngine S5700 series can be used. So maximum niya is 9 switches can be used to provide a logical of one switch for management and operation. Next is CSS, same as iStack. This technology is used for uh, mm, modular type natin and chassis type switch. So using link aggregation, we use route redundancy link and 1:1 protection. Using Huawei, we have cluster switch system of a link of 1+1 aggregation. Next part is free mobility. So actually we can define a network policy depending on the user. For example, we have here is the guest. We can offer 1 megabits per second, then employee 2 megabits per second, then for VIP we can offer 8 megabits per second. Then for the free mobility, it uses HQoS or hierarchical quality of service. From traditional QoS is per service. In HQoS is per user. So it has a high performance and offers 64 queues. Next, for the security, it provides MACsec, providing secure transmission of layer 2 data. It offers data frame integrity check, user data encryption, data source authenticity, verification, and replay protection. So each hub has using MACsec functionality. Next, our unique optical electrical synergy is the first of its kind 300 meter PoE++ switch. So we use PoE capability of Ethernet cable plus the optical switch. So it equals to the hybrid cable or copper fiber connectivity. So it has a long distance up to 300 meters and PoE++ power supply 60 watts. Next is native AC. So each switches has a native AC functionality. So versus the traditional or standalone WAC is separate into wired and wired networks. It resulting to the bottleneck in terms of the network flow of wireless network. So using Huawei, each switch has native AC functionality. So it has a convergence within wired and wireless network. Next is bidirectional forwarding detection, so rectifying network level faults in millisecond. So as you can see here, this line has an interruption. It has a switch over or up to 3.3 milliseconds, then switchover can be complete into 50 milliseconds with user services not affected.
All right. Hello. And okay. Again, hello everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Melrin Lucas, one of the technical engineers of Huawei in WSI, handling Idea Hub. So to begin with, intelligent collaboration has a wide selection of enterprise products when it comes to video conferencing. But to eliminate the disorganization of devices, we always position and offer the Huawei Idea Hub to our clients since it is an all-in-one solution for video conferencing needs. So let's start with the Idea Hub highlights. Okay, so Idea Hub highlights are split into three parts. First is the super interactive electronic whiteboard, and it contains features that maximizing the efficiency in the office through presentations and meetings. For the three core capabilities, with embedded graphics card that can support a 60 frames per second and 4K H.265 codec, it can provide high quality performance of pictures and videos. And with ultra low cursor technology, it makes cell phone, tablets, or laptops to interact with Idea Hub on real time with no delays. There are three ways on how to connect with Idea Hub. One is through Idea Share app. It is a application that can be downloaded through cellular phone and desktop to connect on Idea Hub. Second is Idea Share Projector, a plug and play device that can connect to USB hub of laptop or desktop to project the contents directly to Idea Hub. And the last one is NFC for phone that can be tapped to Idea Hub for your phone to project on Idea Hub. When it comes to response time, with a dedicated chip embedded on the Idea Hub, it has a 35 millisecond write speed when you write on a board. It has a faster response time compared with other competitors. It is one of the work efficiency methods that Idea Hub can offer. Handwriting recognition are supported by Idea Hub. It automatically translates the text or shape that are recognizable by the users. Next is professional video conferencing, offering excellent quality of video and voice. It provides public and private video conferencing. So when we say public, it uses third-party apps connecting to cloud like Zoom or Microsoft Teams to our clients, while private is used in internal conferencing. With a 4K camera built-in on the Idea Hub, 12 linear microphone array technology that can do audio and speaker tracking, acoustic baffle, and an 8-meter radius for audio pickup. It can offer high-quality videos for clear presentations and video conferencing meetings, compared with other competitors that are lacking on these features. Idea Hub can display clear and smooth contents in 4K Ultra HD because of H.265 codec. The only requirement for connection to achieve a 4K resolution is 512 kbps, while the 1080p resolution, the requirement is 384 kbps. So with super error concealment feature, even there is a packet loss, the image or video is not pixelated. Okay, so Idea Hub has a feature of acoustic fence, whereas any outside noise within the certain space cannot be heard from the Idea Hub. Okay, so intelligent speaker tracking are feature where the Idea Hub tracks the sound of the speaker and it focuses the camera on the person speaking. And last is extensive cloud ecosystem. All applications are linked to the cloud because it is now a trend in the industry. And usually all of the applications are running or being backup through cloud. So there are four ways on how to obtain the idea apps. First is through web, can be downloaded through web browser and install the software to desktop or laptop. Other option is it can be installed through USB. Just copy the APK file to a flash drive and you may install the APK software directly to Idea Hub. The other one is sending an APK from web. So APKs can be downloaded from web if you need to run a software application into the Huawei operating system. And lastly, through application gallery, you can download it directly from app gallery of Huawei operating system. Okay, so Idea Hub are open Windows platform extension enabled and open SDK capable. If you want to create a sample application that can integrate to Idea Hub, Huawei can send an SDK and API enable to create the apps, run, or integrate it directly to Idea Hub. Idea Hub can integrate third-party meeting apps. So this is a sample of integration of Zoom application to Idea Hub. Can also run Microsoft Teams or Skype through its Windows operating system. So this is one of the selling points of Idea Hub from other competitors. Now I will discuss the three typical scenario solutions of Idea Hub. For private video conferencing, this is a setup for an internal meeting on-premise using Huawei to Huawei or even third-party video conferencing devices. Next is integration of third-party meeting. So with the integration of third-party softwares in Idea Hub, there are no licensing needed for cloud-based conference platforms and it is compatible with the Idea Hub. And last is the pure electronic whiteboard. If you want to use a whiteboard for meeting or discussions, you can simply pull out the whiteboard and then later you can save it and you can send it to email directly from the whiteboard. So these are the typical office scenarios whereby we can position the Idea Hub. So for meeting room, open office, executive office, or home office. So in summary, Huawei incorporates the technology needed mostly on business planning or meetings in Idea Hub. It eliminates all the complex methods when setting up an equipment for video conferencing in a meeting room. So that concludes Idea Hub is excellent for providing productivity tool for smart office. So Idea Hub has a two models. First one is Idea Hub S with a resolution of 1080p camera and data sharing with auto framing. And we have here a Idea Hub Pro with 4K camera and data sharing also. But the differentiator for this is it has a auto framing and speaker tracking. All right. So I'm sure you get a grasp of important factors and key points in Idea Hub. So thank you guys for listening.